Delegates after the November 5th election, seniority matters in the House. Why would it be better for the voters of the 94th to vote out Mr. Yancey just as he starts to gain some seniority status on committees and replace him with somebody who would have no seniority at all?
We need to get the majority for Democrats in the Virginia House, and right now Mr. Yancey's presence in the Virginia House is causing us to blocking change. It's blocking change in the Virginia House, and the best example of that, of course, is on gun safety. And I have to say, if my name had been drawn out of that poll in 2018, outcomes might have been different for gun safety. Those bills that were presented by the governor in this special session that would have banned high-capacity magazines, universal background checks, restrictive protective orders, those things might have passed. So yes, it matters if Democrats have control. Yes, it matters if you come out and vote November 5th. Because this is how we make change in Virginia. We need a Democratic majority, and right now, my Republican opponent is standing in the way of change.
All right, thank you for that. Mr. Yancey, 2 minutes.
So I serve as the chairman of the House Transportation Committee, and all of you that drove down here tonight on 64, that was part of what I was able to achieve. And of course, we talked about the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel. The thing about seniority, it's great to say you're a chairman of a committee, or you serve on this committee, you serve on that committee, but it's about the ability to cultivate relationships and build a consensus. So let's just say for conversation's sake, the Democrats do take control of the House. You still have to have somebody that knows how to get it done. You still have to have somebody that knows how to deliver the results. You talked about gun safety. You have to have a person who is willing to step up and fight for it. And I did introduce legislation. I was one of the very first people to introduce legislation in this special session that dealt with the illegal trafficking of firearms. And I worked with our local police. I worked with our local prosecutors. I even worked with the Eastern District of the United States Federal Attorney General's Office to be able to craft legislation that would be meaningful to get illegally trafficked guns off our streets. And your response was, it's lip service. But you didn't introduce, you didn't suggest, you didn't propose anything. On gun safety, I did co-sponsor, and I am co-sponsoring, I should say, this red flag law. But the key on the red flag law to get guns out of the hands of people that might be a danger to themselves or others, again, it's about making certain that all constitutional rights are protected. Along those lines of gun safety, I'm working with the local community service boards to address some of the challenges of mental illness. These are some serious problems that we have to deal with. So I'm flattered that I'm somehow this one person that's blocking all this opportunity, but when I think of all the bipartisan consensus that I've been able to do over the years on a multitude of opportunities to create for back home to Newport News, that comes from the seniority and that comes from the results I've been able to deliver for my hometown of Newport.
Thank you, Mr. Yancey. Okay, we're not going to do 30 seconds this time, Ms. Simonds. We're going to move on to the next question, which is similar to